Hello, how you doing? Welcome to another Vincent Almost 5 Minutes, via 5M for short. Got a great show lined up for you. That's my Harry Carey. I don't know, maybe I need to go back to work, but I love it. A lot of stuff happened this week, man. A lot of stuff, not to mention tonight, the Game of Thrones premieres, season 8, very first episode tonight. I'm really excited about it for all 6 episodes of the last season. I'm having a little watch party at my home, especially for those folks who don't have HBO. Come over, watch it at my place. And then starting next week, I'm having Game of Thrones themed board game days. So we're going to play nothing but Game of Thrones crap the whole day and then come back to my place and watch Game of Thrones. So, obviously, I'm looking forward to it. I make literally no predictions. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I don't even want to make predictions. I just kind of want to sit there and let it happen, and whatever happens, happens. I don't really care. I'm going to watch it. Who cares? I don't care who sits on the Iron Throne. It's not me. So what do I care? But anyway, I'm excited about it, and I'll have certain updates about that when I do these shows as well. But a ton of other crap happened this week, man. Dealing with a lot of stuff here. So first thing, HPE announced that they're creating a partnership with Google Cloud. And what I know about it is that it involves Nimble storage and SimpliVity. And in as much as I know about it now, I actually have more information about it next week. But as much as I know about it now, it's going to allow customers to run either VMs or containers in Google Cloud and then run that storage on-premise if they want to leverage some of their on-premise storage. One of the questions I have is that, we have Nimble Cloud Volumes or HPE Cloud Volumes on the edge of like AWS and Azure. I don't know if it actually touches that. Right now, I'm not sure, which is why I'm not telling you that it's going to do that, but I could see that be a logical conclusion. Number one, it's really cheap to run data on HPE Cloud Volumes, much less expensive because you're not paying than like public cloud, because you're not paying for ingest and egress in the cloud itself, which is going to ding you big time for dollars. But I don't think that's what this is yet. So sorry to confuse you if I have, but it is, I do know this, it is for if you're running VMs or containers in Google Cloud to be able to run that stuff on premise if you need to, which is, a lot of folks are really struggling with how do I build my transition from on-premise to cloud. And this would allow you to at least have a seamless transition before you make the full final jump over to the cloud. So that's the first thing. Well, plus, I get to work maybe with my old pal Rick Ross. So Vince Vaughn and Rick Ross are going to maybe work together again. So my buddy Rick Ross, I've known him for a few years. He works at Google Cloud, and as soon as it was announced, I was like, holy crap, do I get to maybe work with Rick Ross again? Just a cool dude, man. He was, Google Cloud sponsored the Final Four. And, man, Rick was all over the Final Four at the Katy Perry concert. He was in the locker room. He was on the parquet floor. He was doing everything related to the Final Four. So good on you, Rick Ross. I hope we can use this as an excuse to work together again. You're an awesome dude. Second thing was announced is that HPE announced a partnership with Nutanix. So what that means is that even today, a lot of folks, vendors, Scality, Cohesity, Cumulo, they can run their software on our hardware platform. So, and it's great if you our HPE server company, server customer, you would just, kind of put that stuff on the server and then slide that right into your rack. So if you're a Nutanix customer, you can actually run that on HP hardware now. Or at least that's what the announcement is. But a lot of folks have been asking, why this? What's the difference? Has there been a difference in strategy between this and SimpliVity? And I would say no, and I'll tell you why. So SimpliVity to me is still the best platform to run hyperconverged. It's, first of all, it's going to be running InfoSight. Nutanix is never going to run InfoSight. So if you need a proactive way to be alerted when something you need to be aware of inside your data center, you need to run InfoSight. And that capability is coming to SimpliVity. That's the first thing. Second thing is that it's an all-in-one. So if you need backup as well as infrastructure, server infrastructure, storage infrastructure, it's got all of that combined. It runs all flash. So I mean, it's an awesome platform. And to me, Nutanix just really doesn't compete with it. But for those customers that really want Nutanix and want to run Nutanix, and they want it, and they have an HPE server, infrastructure, this is perfect for them. Perfect. So that's my thoughts on the whole HPE and Nutanix partnership. And of course, the biggest announcement this week is Nimble OS 5.1. So 5.1 is now an initial public release. So at Nimble, we go through 3 different stages before a software OS becomes really GA. We go through initial public release. This is where you're able to run it in a production environment, but not mission critical workloads. Then it goes into a GAC release, which is general availability candidate. So this is going to be the candidate for general availability. Still, there are some restrictions on what you can run it and how you can run it before it gets to GA, which is absolutely no restrictions. So we're in that very first stage. What's cool about 5.1 is that in 5.1, we now finally get access to synchronous replication. So I'm taking data here, and I'm trying to store it on my HPE storage, and I want to move it from here to here immediately. Before you had to snapshot it was asynchronous. You basically snapshotted it every 5 minutes, 15 minutes. You would set the schedule. So you'd be able to move the data immediately from one site to another in a synchronous way. It's pretty cool. We've been looking for this kind of functionality for a long time. And now finally that Nimble's a part of HPE, we're delivering it. So I'm really excited about that. The other thing coming in 5.1 is multi-protocol. What that means, you can run iSCSI and Fiber Channel in the same array. Hadn't been able to do that before. And now you can with 5.1. So make sure you have to get whitelisted for 5.1. Okay, so make sure you reach out to my guys. My guys all over the heartland. Nick Linus, Chris Berg, Aaron Hansen, Matt Barrett, sorry, Matt, and then Mike Whitaker, Sean Godinez, Mark Kester, and Mike Egner in Illinois. Reach out to those guys. Make sure that you get whitelisted for 5.1 if you need it, or you can call support and just get whitelisted that way too. And then on a personal note, we did my podcast, Technically Drinking. We did our Thanos versus Vader show at Planet Comic-Con a couple weeks ago, and it was just awesome. Had about 40 people show up. We're going to do a lot more live shows. It was just amazing. The vibrance, the enthusiasm in the crowd arguing who would win in a fight, Thanos versus Darth Vader, and got to meet Jim Starlin, also the man who created and drew Thanos. It was just a joy. I'll be honest, it was just a joy. And we recorded it. So last week's episode, you could listen to the Thanos versus Vader. It's about 50 minutes. You can listen to that whole episode. The sound could be better, not going to lie. But I'm actually pleased with the sound to a certain extent because at least you can hear people. And I promise, I'm 100% committed to make sure that sound is perfect the next time we do it. And then this week, that conversation, we're kind of doing a final thoughts on the Planet Comic-Con show. But that also leads into another discussion of who our favorite villain is. Who's the biggest, baddest villain across books, literature, comic books, movies, everything. So we talk about that, me, Eddie, and Eden. And then lastly, the long national nightmare has come to an end. 476 days, day 476 of the big jip, the great sham, the America held hostage, day 476, ended on Friday. So what does that mean? Is that we finally found out what episode 9, Star Wars episode 9 was going to be called. The Rise of Skywalker. The teaser trailer was released, and I'll be honest, I couldn't be more happy. I thought that trailer was amazing. I'm just going to take a few minutes and give you my thoughts. I thought that trailer was amazing. So fun. Like I was hooked the minute I saw Rey kind of do her like flip over the TIE fighter. That was pretty amazing. It reminded me of like in Lord of the Rings when Legolas was doing the arrow thing and he kind of pulled himself up over that horse. That was just amazing and really cool. So so that was cool. Couple concerns. I don't know if Billy D. Williams can bring the heat with regard to Lando anymore. I've seen him in some other things, and it just concerns me that maybe he's in a little bit over his head. I don't know. We'll see. But it was cool seeing him fly the Millennium Falcon. But I'll be honest, I wish it would have been Nien Nunb there instead of Chewbacca. That's the second thing, and then the last thing. Why bring back the Emperor? I mean, they've been talking about this, all weekend, and people are excited for it. I don't know. I feel like Rian Johnson screwed up The Last Jedi in episode 8, and as a result, they're like, I need to bring back a big bad. And so they're like, well, who do I got? I got the Emperor. So, hey, Anna Banana. So that's it. I'm over 12 minutes. Like I said, this is sometimes 5. It's almost 5. Today it's 12. I had a lot of stuff to talk about, man. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, I'll be back. And in the next couple of weeks, we've got Avengers Endgame, and there'll be some other announcements too, I'm sure, related to HPE that you'll have questions about and that I want to talk about. So, from Belle and my cute little Anna Banana and me, signing off. I hope you have a great one. Thanks.